With the new 1.16 Nether update fully released, we are officially in the dots 116.1. People are on the search for ancient debris to get that sweet, sweet netherite. But you may be asking yourselves, what's the easiest way to get it? Why is it so hard to find? How can I get these? My name is Wintertooth100, and I think I may have discovered something pretty interesting that's going to help you find netherite super fast. Ancient debris is an ore just like coal, iron, gold, redstone, lapis, emeralds, and even diamonds. And like the traditional ores, it has a spawning algorithm. So coal can, for example, in the overworld spawn between Y is level 1 and Y level 125. Iron ore can spawn from 5 to 40, gold is 1 to 32, redstone is 1 to 16, so on and so forth, all the way up to diamond, which is also 1 to 16, which basically means that this stuff only spawns within that certain Y value level. Now, due to this spawning algorithm, that number can fluctuate a little bit, and the game will attempt to spawn in the appropriate ores whenever possible. Now, don't go anywhere. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, of course, winter, duh, that's how it works. That's how the game does stuff. But I found something really, really odd, and I'm going to show you right now. So I've created a test world here in the Nether where I could just, check things, see how the stuff is spawning in, see if I can get any insight as to how to better get this ancient debris. And I have cleared out a huge section. This is 9 chunks by 5 chunks. So this is actually mined out with commands per chunk. This and that's really important, the chunks. In fact, we show the chunks right now, and you can actually see where these all are. And this is intentional. I had the question, I asked myself, does ancient debris spawning in have anything to do with the chunks? And I'd say the short answer is yes. Alright, I have this broken down into 3 types of blocks. Shroom lights to count, sea lanterns which mark exactly on a border, and flint and steel, aka fire, is for the odd block. Now, if we look at any of the ancient debris, these are all spawned in naturally. They tend to spawn, from what I can tell, within 3 blocks of the edge of every chunk. So we go through and we can see, this guy right here. That guy's within 3 blocks of a chunk. This one has a sea lantern on top. It's literally right on the edge of the chunk. And the only exceptions are the guys with fire. These are the ones that spawn more than 3 blocks away. Now you're probably saying to yourself, well, yeah, the ores are going to spawn in randomly, so of course you're going to have some that are on the edges, some that are within a few blocks, and some that are in the middle. That's how it's going to work. But if we actually look at this, there's 45 chunks here, 45 whole chunks. There are a total of 74 ancient debris that happen to spawn within these 45 chunks, and only 8 of them spawned further away than 3 blocks out from an edge. Only 8 are not within that 3 block range. That is it. That is 10%. It's barely 10%. We need more data. I'll definitely be clearing out at least another 45 chunks, so be sure to check the description down below for my final numbers. But 10% is not a lot. It's a decent number, yes, but it's not a lot, especially when it comes to finding and mining out these things that are so rare in such a dangerous place. Why put it in the description when I can actually just show you? I literally just came through. It took maybe 15 minutes to clear this all out using commands. And this side is surprisingly different, and I'm curious if there's a biome dependency that correlates with spawning, something worth looking more into in the future. But these 45 chunks produced a total of 57 netherite. So it's not a lot, 57, but if we break down the math for all of the ones that you can't reach within the 3 block gap, we're looking at close to a 10% still. And if we go ahead and we add 1 more block, which I'm representing with the andesite here, the polished andesite, if we did a 4 block gap, we're going to reduce the likelihood of finding these from close to 10% all the way down to nearly 6.4%. likelihood that you're going to have the ancient debris spawn within 4 blocks of it. So that is absolutely wild. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to use this information, but it is really neat to know that the ancient debris does favor being near the borders of chunks. We are roughly getting 1 to 2 spawns of the ancient debris per chunk as well. And it's also important to note that, yes, if they are indeed favoring the edges of chunks, well, when you pick a random chunk to mine down, there is a 1 in 4 chance that the ancient debris will be along the chunk border that you have chosen to go down, right? It's like these guys are here, but we're probably not going to see that guy because we're not going down this chunk border. We're going down this chunk border. So something really interesting to keep in mind if you are using this information. If it feels like you're not seeing the ancient debris, it's probably because it's, they're just on a different side of it. So I guess one way to actually mine these out would probably be something like this, where your tunnel is essentially centered on the chunks themselves. We go 3 blocks this way and we go 3 blocks this way, and you have a 6 wide tunnel, and you would just kind of work your way through like this. It's kind of almost pointless to even go for the center of the chunks, considering that doing this method we're going to get about 10%. We're going to miss about 10%. If we want 1 more block in on both ends, we'd only be missing about 6%. So this is actually a great way to do it. Remember, Y values roughly between 13 and 20 is where the stuff likes to spawn. So I personally like to stand on Y level 15 and have a 3 tall mine. But I think the best way to do this is to save yourself a lot of trouble and just do a 2x2 mine centered on your borders, and you can run this as much as you want along all the borders. A 2x2 is very easy to clear out. Efficiency 5, you'll just be going in a circle. You don't even have to stop walking forward at all to catch up to it. You will just continually mine it out very fast, very easy. And then line it with TNT, and let's see how much this clears out. Would you look at that? I actually placed in the obsidian to show the edges. This is actually 1 block behind. This would be the 4th block. So you would be seeing, again, digging 2x2, working your way through, you'd be seeing pretty much 94% of all ancient debris that could possibly spawn in this area. Expand it exponentially and stay on the right Y levels, and you should find yourself having plenty of these ancient debris in no time. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is definitely not a tutorial about how to find the ancient debris super fast, just more of a speculation, weird noticing of the game mechanics and how this stuff is spawning in. I actually had a friend on a server ask me if they think that this might be a bug. Very weird spawning mechanics. I don't believe it's a bug, and we should be able to use this information in the future. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you like, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.